David, I do want to talk about this program, We Own This City, because I've been watching it, and I'm a big appreciator of your work. And I think if people haven't seen it, they need to. This is a true story, and I want you to explain a little bit about how you came to this. On paper, when I hear, "Oh, let's do something on the gun trace task force," it doesn't sound like the most marketable idea, right? But these characters, these stories are fascinating. And can you tell me a little bit about how this came to be?
Sure. Well, I thought I was done with Baltimore and crime. I certainly thought I live here, and my city certainly took a bite of that apple, and I didn't really want to make it take another on my account. But The Wire, which we began working on 20 years ago, was if it had one policy argument to make, and it was very blunt about it, I thought it was end the drug war. The drug war has not only destroyed communities and families and individuals, built prisons and filled them. It's destroyed law enforcement. It's made that which is the most essential police work less rewarded, less heralded than going up on the bunch of corners and making your stats and grabbing a bunch of guys and getting paid for doing that which doesn't actually make us safer. And while we've done this, we've trained generations of cops how not to solve murders, solve robberies, solve rapes, how not to patrol their posts, to prevent crimes against people. We've taught them how to make arrests. And so the clearance rates in places like Baltimore and Chicago and elsewhere have nosedived. The national clearance rate for murder when I was in the homicide unit in the late 80s was 70%. It's now 35%, which means your chance of putting anyone in jail for a murder has gone from 4 in 10 in Baltimore to 1 in 10 once you shake the cases out. So we're not doing police work anymore. And here comes this scandal that I'm reading about in my local paper in the Baltimore Sun, covered by Justin Fenton. And I wasn't even thinking about doing any more television in Baltimore, but I called Justin because I used to have that gig, and I said, "This is a book. You're onto something that really is a true coda for where the drug war has taken us. This unit that basically was not only okay, in The Wire, you saw people stealing. They kick over a mattress, they find some extra cash, it goes in their raid jackets. There's routine brutalities on the street for which police don't have to answer for. That was the culture of policing as I knew it. The idea that you would rob not only drug dealers but citizens, it's just take their money and not turn it in, not just drug dealers but citizens, or that you would rob a drug dealer, take the drugs, and then put them back on the street through another dealer. That's a level of debasement and cynicism that it took another generation of Baltimore policing under the drug war to get to. So I hadn't thought about it as TV, but I put Justin in touch with my book agent rather, and he sold it and he wrote it. And sure enough, it came back from HBO. They had an early copy of the manuscript to George Pelecanos, my co-writer on this and longtime collaborator. And George brought it back and said, we should do it. It's really sort of the end. It's a remarkable coda to what we were arguing in The Wire. And so here we are.